The Angels getting set to take on the Oakland Athletics, Game 2 in a 3-game series. Happy to have you with us, everybody. Rory Marcus along with Mark Gubicza. Tonight, the Angels and A's once again. Oakland's been a hot ball club, and the Angels, meanwhile, trying to clinch a playoff berth, but it has not been easy.
Well, it certainly hasn't been easy. I know when that pressure comes on you, you want to get over as quick as possible, but all of a sudden, there's a little bit of pressure on the Angels at this point. Magic number still at 4. You know, Texas right now is losing to the Rays 2-0 there in the top of the third, but the reality is the Angels got to play more consistent baseball. They don't want to put themselves in position, if they don't win these next 2 games against Oakland, to have to go ahead against Texas here starting on Monday, a 4-game series. Texas is 10-5 against the Angels so far this season, so they play well against them. They would have the momentum going, so that's why this game, Rory, is so important for the club to get back to the basics. Get some hits with runners in scoring position, pitch well, play some good defense, and run the bases aggressively.
And if you're assuming they will be a playoff team for the Angels, it's important to get some kind of momentum going. If you're the Texas Rangers, you're thinking, well, just stay alive until Monday. So tonight, John Lackey on the mound for the Angels. He has one thing definitely in his favor. He's always done well against Oakland, Gooby.
Well, he has, and he's throwing the ball exceptionally well. Most pitchers at this time of the year have lost some velocity on the fastball. That's not the case with John Lackey. He's throwing the ball much better velocity, better curveball, and he's the perfect guy to have going on in this game tonight against the Oakland A's. 11-game winner, and what he's done in his last 5 starts, an ERA under 1.6, so he's got that fastball going, a curveball, and above all, 16-4 in his career against Oakland, including 2 complete games and a shutout. So look for John to continue that mastery of Oakland, throw some zeros up early, and get the offense involved and score some runs.
And the Angels have a chance to cut that magic number down tonight, where maybe they could still clinch tomorrow. But first, this ball game with the Oakland A's tonight. Oakland playing very well lately, beat the Angels last night. Baseball coming up next from Angel Stadium. Right now, try the mini sirloin burgers. They're 3 delicious burgers on toasted mini buns. And by your Southern California Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a luxurious Lexus automobile today. Back at Angel Stadium, waiting for the first pitch tonight between the Angels and the A's. Meanwhile, the Angels appear to be fairly loose in the dugout today.
I think they're getting ready. That's a good effort.
That's always a good sign when the guys are loose. The Oakland batting order: Adam Kennedy, Rajai Davis, and Ryan Sweeney here in the first inning. Then Suzuki, Cust, and Barton. Mark Ellis hit 7. Eric Patterson and Cliff Pennington after that to face John Lackey.
Boy, John Lackey with this complete dominance over this Oakland team, 16-4. 135 strikeouts in nearly 170 innings pitched. Talk about that increased velocity on the fastball as he's going along here. Last 5 starts, 3-1 with a 1.59 ERA for Big John Lackey.
Defensively for the Angels tonight, Rivera, Hunter, and Abreu in the outfield. Figgins is Turris, Kendrick, Morales around the infield. And tonight for the Angels behind the plate, Jeff Mathis catching John Lackey.
Boy, they got that steadying influence in the middle infield now with Meister moving over from second base to shortstop. He's played a little third base, too, for the Halos. Some very good fielders, soft hands, good range, turns a tremendous double play.
Meister at shortstop tonight. And Adam Kennedy, who at one time played up the middle at second base for the Angels, leads off for the Oakland A's.
Always interesting when you're going up to face one of your best friends. These two guys, Adam Kennedy and John Lackey, best of friends.
Really bad batter, Davis.
Strike 1 to Adam Kennedy to start the game. Adams having a good year, hitting .290 as the A's third baseman.
Again, that uppercut swing for Adam Kennedy late on that fastball, but John Lackey's been consistently working ahead of the count his last 5 games.
And Kennedy with a short pop fly into center field. Torrey Hunter makes the easy play, 1 out.
I think you can guarantee that of John Lackey. You'll never see a smile on that face during the course of a game in which he's competing.
You're right.
He's one of the most competitive people I've ever seen. Reminds me of Tim Belcher, Nolan Ryan, a guy that doesn't smile a whole lot when his opportunity arises to be able to be out there on the mound.
85 degrees at game time here at the Big A tonight. 85. 0-1 to Rajai Davis. 0-2 now. The Angels pitching staff leads the major leagues in earned run average this month. 2.68. But they haven't parlayed that into a big month in the win-loss column. They're just 12-11 this month. Scott Kazmir, part of that good earned run average for the Angels.
Watched his bullpen session today when I came in earlier. He's hitting his spots very well. This is the time of the year where you just work on mechanics and hitting your spots because you don't want to overthrow at this time. And Mike Butcher does a good job of, hey, listen, okay, this can be a 10-minute bullpen session. Use all your pitches, but don't overthrow. Stay within yourself. Keep yourself strong. This last few starts here in September and into October. Hopefully November.
If it's into November, the Angels are in the World Series. Game 7 would be November 4th this year. That's stretching it out a little bit, isn't it?
Taking chances on weather.
Strike 3 called to Davis. Lackey gets him looking. Well, the weather here in Orange County will be fine.
That's true. And they do have game 7 at home. Here's a fastball on the inside corner. You talk about painting the corner. John Lackey stay within his mechanics. Rajai Davis looking for a breaking pitch possibly. He gets the express on the inside corner.
2 out, Ryan Sweeney coming up. Sweeney hitting .294, 6 homers, 53 runs batted in.
The Yankees have a magic number 1 as far as winning home field advantage throughout and having the opportunity to decide their short and long series in that first round of the playoffs. And Joe Girardi has indicated he's going to take the long series.
The Yankees beat the Red Sox again today, 3-0. Boston had only 2 hits in the game, and one of them was in the 9th inning. That was it. Two and one to Sweeney.
Good fastball count for Sweeney to be able to try to drive it, but he's been going the other way with his swing quite often this year.
And he reaches base with a 2-out walk, giving Kurt Suzuki, the former Cal State Fullerton star, a chance to come up and bat here in the first inning. Suzuki batting cleanup has 14 home runs. Only Jack Cust, who hits behind him, has more for Oakland, but Suzuki leads the club in runs batted in.
Oakland, a club that's been running a lot more than they've had in recent years. Sweeney with 6 stolen bases.
Strike one to Kurt Suzuki, the A's catcher. Speaking of catchers, it looks like Mike Scioscia lately is kind of shading towards Mathis in that starting lineup.
Well, he'll never admit to that, but it looks that way right now, especially when you think about the playoffs. You think about going with your guy that's strong defensively at this particular point, Mike Napoli, with all that power offensively. Battle back for some sickness.
Suzuki hits one hard into left field, a line shot that is out of here. A home run, a 2-run shot for Kurt Suzuki. And after getting the first 2 outs rather easily, Lackey now is behind 2-0.
Boy, Suzuki continues to put up those numbers now. 15 home runs and 83 RBI on the season. Not your typical number 4 hitter in the lineup, but anytime you throw a breaking pitch that hangs like that, that's going to be the result. Hanging slider that ran over the middle part of the plate. Suzuki hit it out for a 2-run homer.
Now Jack Cust stepping in there. You had actually said a few moments ago how important it was for Lackey to throw the zeros on the scoreboard early, but that hasn't happened here in the first.
And when the way the Oakland has been pitching and their bullpen very strong, it's not easy to necessarily think you're going to come back if you fall behind too far against this club. And they've played very well in the month of September and since the All-Star break.
1-1 to Jack Cust. Oakland's played well enough to almost feel like they have a shot to finish at 500. They're still 6 games under, but they're playing very well. And there's another hit, a base hit by Jack Cust.
Guerin hasn't played good, inspired baseball. So they went away from the old adage of let's try to go for a 3-run home run, live by that rule of thumb. Now they're being more aggressive, and I think that's helped them out because you can manufacture some more runs rather than just wait for the homer.
This is Bob Guerin's 3rd year here. They kind of suffered through the first half, but they've been a lot better in the second half. Derek Barton takes a strike. Lackey got an easy fly ball to center from Kennedy, struck out Davis, but since then has given up a walk, a home run, and a base hit.
And the home run on a breaking pitch and that base hit by Cust on a curveball also.
0-2 to Barton is fouled away. Kurt Suzuki Home run number 15. Oh, 2 to Barton.
You can see what Barton was trying to do on that. He wasn't getting out of the way of that curveball if it hit him in the leg. Try to turn his body, especially when you're behind the count 0-2. Try to get whatever you can to get on base. He just tried to turn the body, hope that that baseball would hit his leg.
Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. And it's turning into something of a long inning for Lackey. This will be his 25th pitch of the inning. And there's a liner into left center field. That's in there for a hit. Cust gets to third base. He doesn't have great speed. He stops there. It's a double for Barton. Four straight men have reached base now for Oakland. 2 out, second and third, and Mark Ellis coming up. Mathis and Mike Butcher going out to the mound.
Well, this is a key point in the game now. This is another off-speed pitch. Barton just went with the pitch, went the other way. And when you look at this Oakland team in the past, a pitch like that, normally they would try to hit the ball out of the ballpark. Now going the other way. Shorter, more compact swings. Mark Ellis, a guy that's had some key hits in his career against the Angels, up in a big spot.
Last night the A's were 2 for 12 with runners in scoring position. But just a single to the outfield right here could give them a big start against Big John.
Well, he looked like he was going to get through that first inning with about 10 pitches.
Mark Ellis hitting .270. To Ellis. John Lackey got the first 2 outs of this inning on 8 pitches.
He's allowed 11 earned runs in that first inning, 26 starts. This is unusual for John to have this kind of trouble early on.
And now 2-1 to Ellis, and Butcher is shaking his head. It did look like it was going to be perhaps an easy inning, but nothing easy about that third out here in the first. Two and two to Ellis.
When you think about it, you got to get you got John Lackey. Hopefully, if he gets to the postseason, locked in for that game 1, and you want to see some good, crisp curveballs out of John, fastballs, working ahead and getting through some early parts of the game to be able to go deep in the ball game.
Well, he's already thrown 30 pitches in the first inning.
Look how John has been as far as the ERA in the first 3 innings, 2.88. 4 through the 6 gets a little higher, and then of course 7th on 4.3. So he's a guy, eventually, he has to make some pitches later in the game, but early on he usually has dominant stuff.
And Ellis is having a good at bat, fouling off some tough pitches. Jack Cust at third base. Derek Barton's at second. Another foul ball off the bat of Ellis. Kind of a tough guy to have up right now. This next pitch will be the 8th to Ellis. He's
Especially when, if you're Oakland, you're looking to see who's pitching in this series. You see John Lackey go in game 2 with 16 wins, which is more than in any other club he's faced in baseball. Figuring out we're in trouble, but their approaches to the plate so far are patient.
Ball 3 now. Full count. The left fielder and the number 8 hitter, Eric Patterson, would be next. And John Lackey just trying to stagger through this first inning at the moment. Ellis with a fly ball to right. Abreu has to give some ground, but makes the catch, and that's the inning. John Lackey throws 34 pitches in the first inning and trails it 2-0. Tonight, Figgins, Abreu, and Hunter. Bobby Abreu back in that number 2 spot. Then Vladdy Rivera and Kendry Morales. Howie Kendrick, Jeff Mathis, Meister is tourist to face left-hander Dana Evelyn.
Dana Evelyn with a 2-3 mark on the season. High ERA over 6. Fastball settles in around that 87 to 90 range with some sink action. Pretty decent curveball. Above average slider and a changeup. Fields his position very well, though.
Figgins leads off. Figgy batting right-handed against Evelyn. And Sean trying to keep his batting average over 300. He's at 301. Evelyn to first hit the big leagues with Milwaukee in 2005. He stayed with them until 07 when he was with the Diamondbacks. Last year and this year now with Oakland. 1-2 to Figgins. And Sean punches one foul. Evelyn's still a young guy, 25 years old.
This is the time, Murray, where the offense needs to get going. Many opportunities that last game, that day game against New York, with 13 runners left on base yesterday, not real effective at the plate.
And it's muffed by Kennedy at third. Boy, Adam has just had the toughest of times over there. Each time the A's have been in here, and Adams been playing third base.
In his defense, he's the second baseman trying to make that adjustment to playing third. It's a longer throw for him. It's a timing mechanism for you. You want to make the play, but then you got to feel you got to get up and rush because Sean Figgins runs down the line so quickly. Second base, you have time to be able to knock a baseball down and make that throw.
That's an error on Kennedy.
Also, that third base, we talk about that reactionary position. You might have thought that ball was hit harder down the third baseline than it truly was.
Bobby Abreu now at the plate for the Angels. Do you take anything significant, Gooby, from the idea that tonight Abreu is batting second again?
Yeah, I think there's a strong possibility Mike Scioscia may go that route in the postseason. Put him in that number 2 slot, put Torrey number 3, and Vlad behind Torii Hunter. So I would not be surprised if that's the case. Now, granted, they're not there yet in the postseason. But I think this could be that spot where Bobby's going to settle in at.
And the reasoning being?
Because, I mean, he's a guy that's going to get more fastballs in the spot because you got Chone Figgins on base. And that way he could drive the ball and be more effective. Granted, he's been a number 3 hitter throughout his career. He's in a situation now where more fastballs, better opportunity to drive it.
Bobby, like a lot of the members of the Angels batting order, has been a little quiet lately. He hit over 300 for most of the season. He's at 291 right now. And needs 2 runs batted in to reach 100.
And you look at the pitches that Bobby's been swinging and missing or taking in the zone lately. It's been a lot of off-speed pitches, whether it's a curveball or a slider or a changeup. But in this number 2 slot, especially when Chone Figgins gets on, pitchers are more apt to throw more fastballs and a better opportunity to get a good swing.
Figgy's on, 2-0 to Abreu. Swing and a miss. He chased the high fastball right there. Eveland is not overpowering.
A 2-1 count. You could count to try to steal on. A sign of a possible pickoff. Some teams have different signs. Someone could do that flick of the thumb to throw over to first base. Clearly Oakland's sign is give the horns, hook 'em horns to Texas Longhorns on it. That's the throw over the first base. They'll give a fist for a pitch out. Now he wants the fastball in the outside corner.
Three and 1 to Abreu.
And you see that sign after Suzuki when he gave the one indicator for a fastball, but then he gave a sign after that. That means he wanted him to do a slide step, be quicker to the plate. And it's a regular fastball here, especially behind. 3-1.
And Abreu bounces it to Ellis, who gets it to second to force Figgins. They cannot get a double play, however. Abreu reaches base on a fielder's choice. And now they've called Figgins safe at second base.
Well, that was a good takeout, too, at second for Chone Figgins. The Angels catch a break there.
Bob Guerin comes out. He can't believe it. And he goes after the second base umpire, Greg Gibson.
Well, we always hear that adage, in the neighborhood. The turn. Wow, they look like they caught a break there.
Boy.
You see the turn to second base. This basically.
That is never, but that's closer than a lot that get called out.
It says generally in the neighborhood. I think it's the right call, but it's a call that's rarely ever made. Because when you're a shortstop feeling that thing, you're just sliding across just to be able to get your foot by the bag and then get out of the way of the base runner. But a huge break in this point of the game. Maybe something to be able to propel the Angels to get their swings back.
Well, the Angels have had every break so far in the first inning. That was ruled an error on Ellis. So we have an error on Kennedy, an error on Ellis, and the Angels have 2 men on with nobody out. And Torii Hunter at the plate. Torii takes strike 1.
Torii does 2 for 18 on this homestand himself. Just a good opportunity to be able to get the swing back, slow down the game a little bit.
If you're trying to get some momentum going and pick up your pitcher a little bit, you cannot let this opportunity go by. I mean, this is 2 routine ground balls where both batters have reached base. Last night, the Angels with runners in scoring position went 0 for 9. One and 1 to Torii Hunter. And when the Angels are going well, Goody, this is exactly the type of situation they cash in.
They have been so successful all the way up to this month of September by doing that. But simplifying their approach to the plate is the most important thing at this point. You don't think in Elijah, if he makes a mistake, yeah, you get a 3-run homer. But right now, shorten up your swing, think up the middle with your approach.
And Torrey fouls one off. Well, the Angels have lost 3 in a row going into this game, but our Infinity fact tonight tells you they're not likely to lose 4 in a row. In fact, they haven't done it all year long. The only team in Major League Baseball that has not had a 4-game losing streak. One ball, 2 strikes to Torii Hunter. Two and two.
Well, the thing is, when you look at Danny Evelyn, he doesn't have overpowering stuff, so the defense has put him in position now to have to make a perfect pitch. I mean, you don't have it necessarily an out pitch. It's a tough spot for him.
As a pitcher, you're never going to blame your fielders, of course, but you come out, he executed a pretty good pitch to Abreu, 3-1, got him to ground out. Does not get him out. Now that's twice he hasn't gotten him out. Is that hard to overcome in the first inning?
It is, especially when you feel good about your team giving you a 2-run lead there at the top of the first, and now all of a sudden you're behind the 8 ball.
Now another what might be a double play ball, and this time the A's turn it. Pennington to Ellis to Barton, 6-4-3. Figgins is at third, but with 2 outs. The batter will be Vladdy.
Well, the thing is, you look at Danny Evelyn, he didn't look like he was upset at all. He kept his composure, stayed, the old saying, stayed within himself. He's not going to overpower you, so he's going to try to get you out to swing a pitch out of the zone or down at least at the knees, and that's what he's able to do to Torii Hunter to get that 6-4-3 double play.
Vladdy grounds one foul. Vlad trying to get going also. He is hitting .296 at the moment. And even though they would still be behind if he gets a single, that's a big run to try and score right now.
It's a gift run. You got to take this opportunity and get back in the game. We talked about the momentum going into the postseason. You want to start getting your swings back. Your approach is more defined.
1-1 to Vladdy. Good breaking ball by Eveland, and Vlad's in a 1-2 hole. Danny Eveland trying to work out of the first inning after 2 errors, but so far no runs.
Well, if there is one pitch that Eveland has to be able to get a big out, it would be that slider we've been seeing.
A little bit outside, 2-2 to Guerrero.
Now 2-2 count. He tried to sneak a fastball in the outside corner. Will he come back with that slider down and in? He's going to throw a curveball here in this spot.
He missed with it, full count.
He doesn't have good command of the curveball. Much better command of his slider than he would be the curveball. So an interesting pitch right there. Now Vlad in position now to be able to see a pitch, to be able to drive. Now he's back as far as a favorable count. So he's coming away with a fastball inside.
And missed with it. So the Angels have 2 men on once again. They have had 3 of their 4 batters reach base. Still no runs. First and third, 2 out, and we'll see if Juan Rivera can do some damage. Juan hitting .288. 23 homers, 83 runs batted in.
Another guy that's struggled so far on this homestand is 3 for 15 with 1 RBI, but a key spot. Help Mike Scioscia get this offense going and get back on top somehow in this game.
Oakland leading on a 2-run home run by Kurt Suzuki in the top half of this inning. Inside with the fastball, 1-1. Evelyn tops out about 90.
When the guy doesn't overpower with a fastball, he wants to spot it. He wants to show the fastball inside off the plate to try to get you to swing at a pitch off the outside corner.
Now 2-1 to Rivera on Evelyn's 25th pitch of the inning. So he and Lackey way up there. Two balls and a strike to Juan Rivera. Lackey threw 34 pitches in the top of the first. Two and two.
The changeup. Threw a changeup in a fastball count. Juan pulled his front hip open. That's the thing when you look at Evelyn. He's not going to, like I said, his fastball is not going to rush it by you. So he's going to try to make you be overly aggressive, and that's how he's going to get you out, a la a Jamie Moyer, a guy like that.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
He wants a fastball. Cut it.
Rivera takes it for ball 3, another full count.
His best fastball, which was on the outside corner of his Ladd at 92, and his slowest pitch so far, 78. He's not overpowering. But the key is hitting the spots with Kendry Morales on deck.
He's had 3 full counts, and Rivera fouls that pitch back. Juan hangs in there 3-2. Two on, 2 out. Deep left field. That ball is gone, and it's a 3-run home run for Juan Rivera. 3-2 Angels in the first inning. And they do cash in the errors.
Well, Mike Scioscia and Mickey Hatcher were looking for that guy who would have that big swing to ignite the offense. And after some tough pitches by Evelyn against Juan, it got him out in front of some of those swings. Gets that fastball in the inner half and turns on it, and has the best play in baseball, Rory, the 3-run shot.
Kennedy probably feeling bad. Ellis the same thing. They made errors to really prolong this inning. This inning should have been over a long time ago. Now Kendry Morales up there. Errors are part of the game, but you can also say this should have been a 1-2-3 inning if you're over on Oakland's side.
And he wouldn't have had to throw many pitches at all either. 30 pitches he's up at right now because of the mistakes made in the field.
There's a high chopper hit to shortstop. Low throw, and it's dug out by Barton. Wow, that was close to another possible error. A 3-run home run by Juan Rivera puts Lackey back on top. It's 3-2 Angels after 1 inning.
What a quick swing from Juan Rivera. That ball was way out. His 24th home run, 86th RBI.
Juan Rivera giving the Angels a 3-2 lead. Eric Patterson leading off the second from Oakland. And he grounds one to Kendry Morales.
Well, we were talking about that earlier in between innings. Like, why would Evelyn throw him a fastball in that spot? And my thing was pitchers sometimes try to outthink themselves. Think, okay, let me go with a fastball. I'll sneak it by him. He's got to be looking off speed. Well, the reality is when you see a hitter swing and miss at a changeup by that much, miss it by that much at a curveball, why would you come back in with a fastball? You're giving a hitter a chance, and that's what Evelyn did, and Juan Rivera took advantage of it.
And the fastball, not necessarily even his best pitch. There's one fouled away by Cliff Pennington.
Trust me, I did that a number of times too, Roy. You try to outthink yourself, try to trick the hitter. Now let me sneak a fastball inside. Well, bam! Next thing you know, you're down in the game 3-2.
1 ball, 1 strike to Pennington. Pennington now has been charged with an error on that ground ball to Ellis. They took the error away from Ellis and charged Pennington for not touching second or being off of second and not turning that double play.
I think that's the right call because Mark Ellis didn't do anything wrong as far as that turn and throw the second.
Pennington now whacks a line drive into left field for a base hit. Oakland with 4 hits, first time through the batting order against Lackey.
Pennington, good speed, 7 stolen bases. Oakland now behind in the game. John Lackey's worked pretty well with Jeff Mathis behind the plate as far as negating the running game. He's allowed 7 stolen bases, but 3 base runners have been caught with this combination of Mathis and Lackey.
Adam Kennedy hit a soft fly ball to center his first time up. Kennedy in the leadoff spot for the A's, hitting .290.
Remember when Adam came over in that trade, the Cardinals had taken over second base, given that opportunity to be the everyday second baseman. Had to work hard on his defensive skills at second. He became a pretty good fielding second baseman, worked with Bobby Grich and Alfredo Griffin. Now you see him moving over to third, going through that same process again of trying to get a good feel for fielding the ball.
And he pulls one down toward the foul pole in right field, and foul. Boy, Kennedy almost hooked that around the foul pole for a 2-run shot.
He's got 19 errors so far this season, 4 straight games with an error. So he's making that adjustment from a second baseman to a third baseman.
And trust me, he hates seeing his name in that error column the next day in the newspaper.
No question. He takes his pride in his defense.
With the runner going, Kennedy hits it right through that hole into right field. Pennington goes first to third easily, and the ball gets away, and Pennington's out at home.
It did take Bob Guerin long to run out there to discuss that call at home plate.
That's twice now Guerin's had to come out and argue. Andy Fletcher is the home plate umpire. And I'm sure Guerin is still not happy about that call at second. Now he feels like, hey, they're all going against me.
Well, that was a close play. I mean, this is, like I mentioned in the beginning, a different Oakland club. Aggressive. They go in first and third on the hit and run. See Pennington going. Clearly gets through there, and the throw in from Bobby taking his time going in there. Gets away from Howie. Kendry was obviously in position to be able to get that ball and throw it in, but it looked like that hand might have got in before the tag was applied. Oh, he did. He got that fingers on the plate.
Yeah, he was safe.
I'll tell you what, Mike Scioscia's not going to be real happy the way that play developed for the Angels defensively.
And probably, I don't know, 9 times out of 10, the safe call will be made there. So the Angels really have been getting breaks tonight, Cooper. Rajai Davis up there now. He has a 13-game hitting streak going and fouls one off.
Again, getting back to that play, Mike Scioscia is going to have to try to get these guys back on the right page and playing Angel baseball, because that was pretty much a nonchalant play coming in. It was just a quick heads-up move by Kendry Morales. It's got that play to plate. Otherwise, that would have been a run, and it would have been a lot of boos in the stands here for that play.
1-2 to Davis. Davis struck out looking his first time up. Check swing. Did he go? Yes. And Oakland blows an opportunity in the second. Still 3-2 Angels. Angels baseball is brought to you by Honda. Test drive a 2010 Honda today at your local Honda dealer. And by the Teriyaki $6 burger with grilled pineapple, back at Carl's Jr. It's been an interesting game so far. 3-2 Angels in the bottom of the second. Howie Kendrick leading off. And the shortstop, Cliff Pennington. You could read his lips in the dugout. He said, "I was safe." Base hit for Kendrick into left field.
Boy, Pennington was involved in that play at second base in which he didn't tag the base, and it would be force out on Bobby Abreu when he's at the plate. And then that play at the plate. Howie once again, that good level swing. This time he pulls it inner half of the plate. Turns on that for a base hit.
Jeff Mathis now for the Angels. Jeff Mathis is hitting .209. 5 home runs, 26 runs batted in. In Texas, the Rangers have just gotten a grand slam home run.
It was Marlon Byrd hit it.
And they were down 3-1 to Tampa Bay, but with one swing of the bat, they have made it 5-3.
Not that we're looking at another game on occasion, but Josh Hamilton came up. Haven't quite got that up there, though. Grand slam down in Arlington for Texas.
Mathis trying to bunt, fouls it away.
Why it's important for the Eagles to take advantage of a few of these breaks they've gotten here early in the game. They've got a number of them. Now have the lead 3-2. Mike Scioscia's got to be concerned right now the way this team is playing their brand of baseball, because he doesn't like it. And it's similar to what happened there down in Tampa, in which the team wasn't playing the brand of ball he likes.
You're right. They lost that game in Tampa 11-1. But if they continue to make little mistakes, even if they win this game, he won't be happy. There's a 6-3 double play off the bat of Mathis. The second double play, the Angels have grounded into in 2 innings. Fans, the Angels would like to thank you for your continued support throughout the season. Tomorrow, during Fan Appreciation Day, all fans in attendance will automatically be entered to win great prizes throughout the game. Get your tickets at angelsbaseball.com. Tomorrow is Fan Appreciation Day.
It's usually one of the best days to come to a ballpark, too. A lot of prizes and gifts given away.
There's Torres at the plate. With 2 out and nobody on now. Meiser batting 9th in the batting order tonight, trying to bunt his way on. 1-1. During your career, Gooby, did you ever have a manager come into the clubhouse after a win upset with his team?
Yeah, oh yeah. Dick Hauser, late Dick Hauser, was our manager when we won the World Series. He wasn't a guy that said a whole lot, but when he did, you got the point across very, very quickly. And if you played a game the wrong way, not playing smart baseball, he let you know right away. Because I know a win's a win, but you got to play the right way. And Mike Scioscia, just knowing Mike for all these years, he isn't happy when the team isn't playing good ball. You can just see, granted, he doesn't change his expression too often during the course of a game, but that's a look right there that he's not happy the way they're playing.
He's a man with a thought right there. 1-2. As Torres bounces one to Kennedy, and the Angels are gone in the second inning. We've played 2. It's 3-2 Angels. of Angels baseball on a new high-definition flat-screen TV from Howard, official appliance and flat-screen superstores of the Angels. We go to the third inning at Angel Stadium, and it's 3-2 Angels.
The fan was saying hi to you again, Rory. How do you have that kind of charisma and magnitude when everyone just looks up at you all the time? Said, hi, Rory.
You just can't force something like that. It's 0-2 to Ryan Sweeney here in the third. John Lackey starting this inning with 48 pitches already thrown.
That's a little better curveball. Granted, it was in the dirt. He's ahead of the count. 0-2. More of a 12-6 break on that curveball. The other couple he's hit around there in the first inning, more of a 11-5 or a 10-4 type break.
Oh, Kendry Morales with a backhand stab makes a great play. Lackey covering for the out. Terrific play by Kendry at first base.
And that's that defense that Mike Scioscia wants to see out of his club. Sprawling out, full extension, makes the play, and then flips a perfect throw to John Lackey covering the base. Great reaction by Kendry. He's done a nice job at first base. His first full season, getting the opportunity to play every day.
One out, Kurt Suzuki, who hit a two-run home run in the first inning, now batting. He hits one sharply to Kendry. Two gone on two good plays by Kendry Morales. Angels fans, on Thursday, October 1st, the Angels host the Texas Rangers. All fans in attendance will receive a free 2009 Angels team photo, courtesy of Dairy Queen. The game will be followed by the postseason rally, should the Angels secure that spot in the postseason. Get your tickets at angelsbaseball.com.
I guarantee she's going to put that on her wall.
Too bad she couldn't be in the team photo. She certainly is cute enough. With two outs, Jack Cust up there at the plate for the A's. One and one to Cust. The Rangers have scored again in the fifth inning. It's a 6-run inning for Texas.
They're not going away quietly, that's for sure.
2-2 to Cust. Who hits a fly ball into left field, right to Rivera. And the A's are gone in order in the third inning. Still 2-1 Angels. 3-2 Angels. Bottom of the third inning. The Angels by a run. Top of the order. Sean Figgins steps in. Figgy reached on an error by Kennedy his first time up. As the Angels cashed in the errors. 2 errors in the inning. One ball, 1 strike to Sean Figgins. Good breaking ball for a strike. Fly ball down the right field line. Sweeney gets there. One out in the third. Bobby Abreu coming up.
Well, we talked about how Kenny Morales at one point when he was strong, he had 4 strikeouts in a row down in Texas, then had a pinch hit home run, and then had a 4-hit game the next night against the Yankees. How important his swing was to get back in order. Now I think it comes the same situation for Bobby Abreu. Got to get him back on track right now. Just think it back, trust the hands, back deep in the strike zone, and hit the ball to left center field once again.
Two balls, no strikes to Abreu. Three and 0 to Bobby.
Definitely a take situation. Bobby, not a guy that swings very often, if at all. 3-0 count.
Eveland was 3-0 to him last time up. And worked it to 3-2, but this time it's a 4-pitch walk. Second walk given up by Dana Eveland tonight. Torrey hit into a double play, his only time up. Abreu, a good base runner, being held on by Barton and joking for a second with the first baseman.
Next steal will give him 30 on the season. Could be a big bonus for the Angels.
Strike 1 to Hunter. Torrey bounces one foul to Kennedy. And Torrey in an 0-2 hole here.
We got over a week left in the season. Looking for the guys to get their swings back.
No question.
Torrey, another one. He's dipped below 300 now.
Well, you certainly wouldn't call the Angels hot right now, especially offensively.
But the most important aspect of this club, it has been since Mike Scioscia's taken the helm as the manager, has been their starting pitching, and that's certainly in order right now, which is an important thing for the postseason. But it'd be nice to look up there and see 8 runs scored for you on occasion too, like they were doing in the month of August and July.
It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Torrey. He grounds another one foul. Only 8 games left in the regular season after tonight. 4 with Oakland, 4 with Texas. The Rangers are certainly doing their part to make that series meaningful next week. They have scored 8 runs now in the 5th inning as Torrey goes down swinging. 2 out. Well, if you think something's funny here on My 13, you're right. Check out My Name is Earl and The Office every weeknight starting at 7 right here on My 13.
A couple of good shows, Rory.
Yeah, and that just blends in seamlessly to this ball game.
I have to agree with you on that one, Rory.
2 out, Vlad Guerrero up there at the plate for the Angels. Vladdy walked his first time up. Oh, 0-1 to Guerrero. If I'm not mistaken, Gooby, and we can see the Texas Rangers game going on in one of the other booths near us, I think they have an 11-run 5th inning going on. Vladdy grounds one to shortstop, and that'll be the inning. So we are through 3 innings here at the Big A. It's 3-2 Angels. On October 11th. For tickets, call 800-944-RACE. It's a beautiful night at the Big A. Close ball game, 3-2 as we move to the 4th inning. And for the Oakland A's, Derek Barton to lead off against John Lackey. Barton hits the first pitch into right field. And the former Marina High School star from Huntington Beach has a leadoff single.
Another off-speed pitch. He was able to stay back this long enough to be able to fight that into the outfield for another hit. 2 for 2 on the game.
6 hits for the A's. Mark Ellis, a fly ball to right his first time. Lackey keeping Barton close in a one-run ball game. A two-run homer by Suzuki for the A's, a three-run shot by Rivera for the Angels tonight. Mark Ellis had a long at-bat his first time up. He saw 9 pitches from Lackey. He's 1-1 right now.
John would love to be able to get 2 outs with a ground ball in this spot. He's fighting it a little bit tonight. He's been so good his last 5 starts, 3-1 with a 1.59.
1-2 to Ellis.
If you looked at the game last night, Jerry Weaver threw the ball well at the right time to get some key outs. And in 6 innings, only gave up 2 earned runs. He only struck out 1 guy, but I thought he battled his way through. Similar situation again for John Lackey tonight.
Ellis bounces one to the right side. Kendrick plugs up the hole. Nice play. Howie Kendrick takes a base hit away from Mark Ellis.
Well, Mark Ellis got robbed a number of times with fly balls last night. This time he hits the ball on the ground, and Howie's showing some great range. Makes the play, throws over the first.
Ellis is not having what you'd call a real lucky series here.
No. Hit about 1,190 feet worth of fly balls last night. Didn't get anything to show for it, and a ground ball. A piece of hitting by Mark Ellis, but a better play by Howie Kendrick at second.
Eric Patterson now for Oakland. Two. Patterson doesn't just have a 4-game hitting streak, he has a 4-game multi-hit streak. They have made another scoring change, Goopy, on that first inning. And the ground ball to Kennedy at third base, they've changed it from an error on Adam to a hit for Figgins.
I think that's the right call.
There's a pitch in the dirt blocked nicely by Mathis.
I mean, that's going to be a real tough play for Adam Kennedy, not only to be able to field that ball, but to throw across the diamond like that to get Sean Figgins. So that's the proper call being made.
2-2 to Patterson. Ground ball behind first, but foul. Here's the play we're talking about. Figgins grounds one to Kennedy. That originally was ruled an error, and they've changed that to a hit.
Well, anytime you're going to go to the backhand at third base, especially with a guy of Sean Figgins' speed, you're going to give Sean Figgins the benefit of the doubt. He's going to be able to beat that ball out.
I'm sure if you were on the mound, you'd feel the same way.
No question about it. I'd be real happy about a couple earned runs instead of none.
Right. Ground ball to first. 2 down. Fans, if the Angels do secure a spot in the postseason, the rally will be Thursday, October 1st, right after the 3 p.m. Angels-Rangers game. The event includes Angel players and alum, U.S. Army parachute team Golden Knights, and a most avid fan contest, plus a spectacular fireworks show. So it could be a big night. The rally here after the Angels-Rangers game Thursday. Cliff Pennington grounds one to the right side. Kendrick to Lackey, and they get him. That gets Lackey out of the inning. If they don't get him, it's a tie ball game. Good play. Still a 1-run lead for the Angels.
Great range in this inning shown by Howie. And a perfect throw over to John Lackey. Get the play at first.
Plays. If you include this one, looks like he may have gotten there, Gooby.
Well, that was about as close as you can get. From that angle, it looked like John Lackey just barely got the foot in, but from that angle, though, it looked like the play was made. And then, of course, that head-first slide, hand on the plate before the tag was applied.
That one looks safe pretty much from all angles. Pennington's been in the middle of all three controversial calls. And Bob Guerin and Pennington, they're going to start thinking these guys are ganging up on them. Rivera leading off here in the bottom of the fourth for the Angels. Guerin did go out and question that last call. I'm sure you've been in dugouts where the manager feels like every call is going against him.
And then you sit around and mess around and have an over and under when he's going to be thrown out of the game, because eventually you feel every call is going against you. And you're going to look up, well, this is because they're leading the division, a very good team as compared to us. We're not playing great baseball overall for the season. Those thoughts trickle in your mind if you're a manager. Old teammate Kurt Young, the pitching coach, right next to him there.
One and two to Juan Rivera. Eveland makes the play and throws him out. Well, on the other hand, though, Gooby, if indeed the A's have not gotten a break all night, it's still only 3-2 Angels.
And then you got a little play like that at first base. If John Lackey just doesn't beat him at first base, it's a tie ball game. But Howie made a couple really good defensive plays. The defense, this last inning and a half, starting with Kendry Morales' play at first base. That's the kind of wake-up call Mike Scioscia wanted out of the defense, at least at this point.
Tonight in the Central Division, the Tigers and the Twins both won their games.
Well, what a story Minnesota is. Even make this a race at this point. You don't have your former MVP and Justin Morneau. He's out for the season. Playing inconsistent baseball. A couple key pitchers out for the year. Yet Detroit let him back in, although Detroit has answered the bell themselves here, winning that game tonight.
Twins have won 5 in a row, and they will remain 2 games behind the Tigers. It's 3-0 to Kendry Morales. Kendry draws a one-out walk. That'll bring on Howie Kendrick. Aaron may be looking at the field, but I think he's thinking about what's happened over the last few innings. He has that look, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's not a happy look. He's trying to put on a play here to see if the Angels will do a hit and run with Howie, who handles the bat so well.
Howie grounded a base hit to the left side his first time up. Two and 0.
Good fastball count here for Howie. You know, we've talked about his approach since coming back from AAA. Going to throw him a changeup here. He is going against the grain here. Now 3-0. Howie said the big thing, his biggest improvement he made when he came back up from AAA was trying to get himself in fastball counts. Don't swing at pitches out of the zone, that being breaking pitches, and that's why the approach and the success has gone up for him.
Eveland has missed with 7 straight. 8 now. Back-to-back 4-pitch walks. So he's a little out of sync at the moment.
Kurt Young, the pitching coach, Brooklyn's going to go out and talk to him right now. And he's the guy that relies on spotting the fastball. The more runners you put out there, the better chance you're going to give up some runs. Force them to hit the ball. That's exactly what Kurt Young's telling him right now.
Well, the 25-year-old lefty from Palmdale has gotten 2 double play ground balls tonight. And he needs one now as Jeff Mathis comes up. Tight ball game. I don't remember too many games in the last 2 weeks that weren't tight ball games.
Every one has been close. But that last road trip, every game was close. In this homestand, the same thing.
Jeff Mathis, who is hitting almost 50 points better at home than he is overall this year, takes strike 1. Oh, 0-2 to Mathis.
Well, that first pitch to Jeff Mathis, that was a bunt for a base hit. But when you get first and second with 1 out, the guy that's not going to overpower you with a fastball, you go up there with the approach. I'll be the guy that drives in the run. Don't wait for the next guy behind you to be the guy to drive it in, but you be the one that comes up with a good approach and drive it.
Jeff hit into a double play his first time up, and he grounds that one through into right field. Here's Morales around third, heading for the plate. Sweeney's throw is on the money, but late. Kendry scores from second, and the Angels now have a 2-run lead.
Well, Jeff Mathis seized the opportunity. He was the one to drive that runner in. That's what you want out of your hitters. You don't want to wait for the next guy to come through. That's it. It's a fantastic approach from Mathis. Shortened up the swing, went the other way on that fastball. And in the slide by Kenny, looked like he got his cleat caught initially there at home plate. It almost didn't make the plate. But got in there before Suzuki was able to apply the tag. Sweeney charged that very well. But no chance to be able to get Morales. As you see, that cleat got caught as he was coming in for the slide. Boy, it ended up being a lot closer.
Meiser pops one foul out of play. Jeff Mathis, RBI single. Scored Morales. Kendry smiling a little bit, I think, probably saying, hey, I almost didn't make it. His Turris grounds one to Kennedy. Nice play. Here's the throw to the plate. And it hits the runner in the back. Howie Kendrick scores the run on an error by the Oakland A's. Another one. Kennedy's not having an enjoyable evening.
Once in one of those tough plays, especially, third base, you got the base runner going down the line, and you make that throw, and it hits Howie right in the helmet as he's making that slide. That's a tough one. You got to throw inside home plate area. Don't miss anything in the line. You got to have the confidence in your offense. You're going to come back, make the play at first base.
Or second base. They had a play there also. It's turning into a nightmare for the A's. 5-2 Angels. Now the infield drawn in. And Figgins takes low and outside for ball one.
Boy, with the infield in now, an opportunity for the Angels just to distance themselves. Oakland's given them many opportunities to score a lot of runs early in this game.
That's ruled a fielder's choice and an error on Kennedy. 1-1 to Figgins. If you're pitching in this game, Gooby, if you're Dana Eveland, when do you start to think it's just not my night tonight?
Well, I mean, he's made some pretty decent pitches, but granted, he did walk 2 batters in this inning, which started this rally for the Angels, but the defense is no question has let them down. And it's tough to have the confidence in your defense. You become a different type of pitcher. You become more, okay, let me try to strike out the hitters instead of being a contact type pitcher, which he's not. He's definitely not a strikeout pitcher.
The Angels have 5 runs on 4 hits tonight. 2-1 to Figgins. Brad Kilby warming up in the Oakland bullpen. Line drive just over the glove of Ellis into right field. That's going to knock in 2. Figgins drives home a pair. And the Angels now lead the A's 7-2.
And another good approach by an Angel hitter in this game now. Seeing the ball much better, trusting their hands, letting it go deep in the zone and going the other way.
It's turned into a big inning for the Angels.
And that might not be a hit if the infield is back. That's
probably right.
The defense has let down Danny Eveland. Now he's out of the game because of some defensive mishaps against him.
Kind of a tough night for Eveland, and so far a night where the Angels have taken advantage. They lead 7-2. In the 4th. Sean Figgins getting that one just out of the reach of Mark Ellis.
Expo will show how he just let that baseball go deep in the strike zone to be able to hit the ball hard on the line the other way. That's what you want out of your hitters. especially guys that are not necessarily home run threats, guys that are, their game is predicated on speed and hitting line drives and ground balls.
Bobby Abreu up there now. Brad Kilby appearing for the 9th time.
Kilby with a 0 ERA. Look at the innings though, 11 1/3, 13 strikeouts, only 1 walk, so good command. Fastball 89 to 92. He's got a slider and a changeup. So he hits his spots well with pretty good stuff.
In this inning, the Angels have 2 hits, 2 walks, and received an error from the A's. Abreu hammers one to right field, and Bobby Abreu has hit it out. RBIs gives Bobby Abreu 100 for the season.
What a quick bat on that swing there from Bobby. Kilby, we said, had no ERA. Well, now he does after that one swing from Bobby Abreu. Quick on that fastball. Turned on it. Boy, look how quick he was on that one. Able to get the hips through. Boy, he centered that baseball up perfectly. Got underneath it to be able to get some air on it. Got out in second. Mr. Consistency, another 100 RBI season.
Torrey Hunter at the plate now with 1 out and nobody on. And the Angels have blown open a close game. It's now 9-2. Broken bat pop fly is going to drop in there for a hit for Torrey Hunter. Now the 9th man to hit in the inning will be Vladdy. It was a broken bat single. Let's see if Kurt Suzuki might have been hit by that bat.
At the very end, a snap as it went across on the swing from Torrey. It hit his body. The pitch itself did most of the damage, but swinging around, it broke the bat and hits Kurt Suzuki with it.
Maybe a little piece of splinter might have gotten him around the eye. But Suzuki looks like he's going to be all right.
It's amazing how many games he catches for this club. Pretty much penciled in there for 150 plus games a year as a catching position. Such a demanding spot.
Now Vladdy up there.
You get a better view right now. The bat is cracked. And then on the follow through, it snapped on Torrey's shoulder and a piece of it went flying towards Kurt. And then he gets a foul tip back on that big swing from Vlad Guerrero.
1 ball, 1 strike to Vladdy. The Angels having a 6-run 4th inning.
Well, he's got a different delivery, Kilby. Kind of like a Terry Mulholland from the left side, or the right side, Rick Sutcliffe, the way he hooks it behind his back. Don't see this too often. It's all part of the deception, but unusual.
Vlad had a big swing. 2-2.
Get a better view right here in our Exmo replay of his delivery. Well, we're going to come back to that in a second, but it's definitely deceptive.
Swing and a miss by Guerrero. That's the 2nd out in the 4th inning.
It's tough for a hitter to be able to pick it up out of his hand because he hides the ball behind his back until he gets to that release point to be able to deliver the pitch. See right there, he hooks it behind his back, then boom, if you're a hitter, you don't see that coming out of his hand until the last second. A better view of that, see how he hooks it behind his back, and now if you're a hitter, you don't see the ball until right now. And then you got to make that adjustment whether it's the fastball or the breaking pitch.
Juan Rivera takes strike one. Juan hit a 3-run home run in the first inning tonight. He's 1 for 2. And he pops that one foul back out of play. No balls, 2 strikes to Juan Rivera. If the Angels go on and win this game, the magic number will probably go down only 1, from 4 to 3. Texas has a 13-3 lead over Tampa Bay tonight. Towards the right field line, Sweeney, but it's going to drop foul.
No chance for Sweeney to be able to cover that much ground. Rivera, a pull hitter, so he's playing off the line pretty far. He had to go a long, long way to be able to make that play.
Assuming the Rangers win tonight, Gooby, the first chance the Angels would have to clinch the division would be head-to-head against the Rangers here Monday.
That's what it's all about. There's some I should say, not a lot of good feelings amongst the two teams, too, when you think about Ian Kinsler and a couple of the Angel players. Remember, John Lackey got thrown out of that game when he hit Kinsler and on 2 pitches thrown out of the ball game. So, and he said some things about, hey, they might be the new team in this division now. So I think the Angels wouldn't like that, be able to clinch it against them in front of them.
And after a successful series by the Rangers, Kinsler also used some choice words to encourage the Angels to get off their field.
Well, that's always a good thing, especially when you get a chance to be able to clinch against that team eventually. I'm sure you could say, hey, thank you, we're back on our field. And we're carrying another pennant.
2-2 to Rivera. That one's foul. The point, I think, Ruby, is that the Rangers have had a good season. They've hung in there. They'll probably hang in there again next year, maybe be even better. But it's a pretty good rivalry now in the American League West. It's been lacking really in this division. But I think the Angels and Rangers are getting to that point.
Yeah, I think so, too. When you look at the Rangers right now, they're getting healthy at the end of the season. We saw Josh Hamilton playing this game. So they're going to come into town with their regular lineup. So it's going to be a fun series for the Angels to be playing them. And, of course, get an opportunity to be able to clinch another division title.
Two balls, 2 strikes to Rivera. Full count now. And Juan hits a fly ball center field. Davis to his left. That'll do it for the Angels. But the Angels put a 6 on the board in the 4th inning. Bobby Abreu has 100 RBIs now after that 2-run shot, and the Angels have blown it open. For the order for the A's, Adam Kennedy to lead off against John Lackey. You mentioned earlier Kennedy and Lackey, very good friends, and they were when they were teammates. I'm sure they still are. That can't be the most comfortable feeling to be facing one of your best friends in a major league game. Each guy trying to beat the other. In this case, Kennedy gets a base hit.
Second base hit. I never liked it when I faced a friend or an ex-teammate. I always thought they had the advantage because you've taken away the threat of that pitch inside. So they're a little bit more comfortable going against you. That's not to say that I didn't try to throw inside against my ex-teammate or John doing the same thing with Adam Kennedy, but you're less apt as a hitter to worry about a pitch getting away on the inside part of the plate. So I think advantage hitter in that situation.
Rajai Davis up there now. Davis 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, working on a 13-game hitting streak. Two 2-0 to Davis. Now 3-0.
In that 5th inning, get through the 5th inning, the most difficult one as you try to qualify for the victory here. At least be in line to qualify for the victory, up 9-2.
You'll hear people sometimes say, sure, it's easy to pitch with a big 7-run lead. Is that not necessarily the case?
Not until you get through the 5th inning, because you're thinking, I got to qualify for the victory. Then you start to aim the baseball, and then force pitches through the zone. Then John had a long time in between innings there, so then all of a sudden your command may not be there right away. As soon as you get that 3rd out in the 5th inning and you're in position for the W, all of a sudden you're in cruise control, making your pitches that you hope to make early in the game.
Full count to Davis. And there's another base hit. Torrey fires to second, but Kennedy gets in there.
I was thinking about trying to get a chance at a force play. Kennedy runs too well to be able to make that. Ball was hit hard by Davis.
The Oakland A's have 7 hits now in 4+ innings.
It's a 14-game hit streak for Davis now. He's put together a solid season for Oakland.
Now Ryan Sweeney for the A's. And there's a shot into right field for Sweeney. They'll hold the runners. And now Oakland, trailing by 7, has the bases loaded with nobody out. Kennedy's at 3rd, Davis at 2nd, Sweeney at 1st on 3 straight singles.
And like I said, that's the toughest inning for a starting pitcher to go through, especially when you have a received comfortable lead at 9-2.
Kurt Suzuki drove in the 2 Oakland runs with a home run in the 1st inning.
John would give up a run for a double play ball in a heartbeat right now.
1-0 to Suzuki. Now Lackey behind on the count, 2-0, and Mathis is going out. Figgins coming in from 3rd.
Boy, this is the one spot. There's no chance you're not throwing anything but a fastball. So Suzuki in this situations, got to feel comfortable. Now the Angels going down to that bullpen.
Darren Oliver, it's early for him to get up, just the top of the fifth. And Matt Palmer also stood up there. Two and 0 to Kurt Suzuki. 3-0. He did sit on the bench for quite a while, but John does not look sharp at all in this inning.
No, we talked about how it's been a battle from the get-go in this game for John Lackey, and he's aiming that baseball right now, which makes it even more difficult to throw a strike.
Suzuki takes a strike. Kurt Suzuki leads the A's in runs batted in. That 2-run shot in the first gives him 83. Strike two. Full count, 3-2. Bases loaded.
The normal thinking is 3-2 count, you're going to go fastball. If you feel comfortable enough to throw a curveball, you can in this situation, but you're up by 7 runs. More apt to throw a fastball now.
And Suzuki hits a drive into left field. Rivera goes to the warning track to catch it. So it would be an easy run, a sacrifice fly for the A's, and they get one closer. It's 9-3, but that could have been disaster for Lackey.
Well, that looked like a fastball that he turned on quick enough to be able to get out for a 4-run swing of the bat. Well, he did go after him with the fastball. John, not quite in sync at all with any of his pitches tonight. Again, that was it. You know, you get it out there, you're still in position. If you get a ground ball, you get a double play. Cuss does not run real well. You can get away with this with only giving up 1 run.
Suzuki hit that deep enough that Rajai Davis was able to tag up and go to third from second. So they could get another run with a fly ball. And Butcher's taking his time out there. He wants to give that bullpen a little time.
Cuss is hitting the 7 double plays on the season.
Number 32, designated hitter Jack Cuss.
Darren Oliver loosening up.
Leonard Mercado's making the signal down to the bench that Darren Oliver's already ready to go if need be. Sometimes you'll see him the tap on the top of the hat. There's swinging his arm to say he's ready.
Cust is 1 for 2 tonight. And he hits one in the air to left field. Rivera has to go back again. And Juan this time sees that one go over his head and into the bullpen. It's a 3-run home run for Jack Cust. And the Oakland A's are back in the game. Opposite field, number 24 for Cust.
Well, that's some tremendous power to go that way. On a breaking pitch to boot. So you got to generate all that power and drive the ball to left field if you're a left-handed batter. That's not an easy task.
It's now 9-6. Oakland has sent 5 men to the plate in the inning. 4 of them have scored. 0-1 to Eric Barton.
Well, right now, John Lackey's on a short leash. If another base runner, Mike Scioscia, may be forced to come out and take John Lackey out, even though at this point the Angels are still leading. Talking with Mike Butcher about it.
He's trying to give him 2 more outs, isn't he?
And I think when you see a manager go down to your pitching coach at that point, he's saying, what do you think's wrong with him today? What's the issue as far as repeating his mechanics and hitting the spot? Do you see anything different from this angle?
Derek Barton pops one up down the third base line. Rivera coming over. 2 out.
Number 14, second baseman,
Now Mark Ellis at the plate. Oh for 2 tonight. And he pops up. So John Lackey gets through the 5th inning with a 3-run lead, even though the A's get 4 in the 5th. A 9-6 ball game. 15 runs across the plate already. And Kendry Morales leading off the bottom of the 5th.
Tell you what, the offense is going to have to keep going right now. So Oakland has been swinging the bat so well in the month of September. That's even the second half of the season. You see why now with 6 runs and 10 hits.
Kendry hits a fly ball toward the right field line. Sweeney's over there. One out. Howie Kendrick coming up. Howie has a single and a walk tonight, so he's been on base twice. Oh, and 2 to Howie Kendrick.
Now he on base twice already, a base hit and a walk.
And now a deep fly ball to right center field by Howie Kendrick, and that ball's off the top of the wall. Howie's on base for the 3rd time.
Well, Roger Davis played that ball pretty well off the wall. Had a good jump, went back on the wall. That ball gets over his head. That's a triple. And Howie said he got his 20th double on the season. But nice play by Roger Davis. And an even better swing of elevated fastball. Howie again going that outside approach. Hits it off the wall. Davis fields it properly, gets it in quickly.
Jeff Mathis up there now for the Angels.
When we look at that fourth inning, the big hit, really, they scored 6 runs, but it was a hit by Mathis, that inside-out swing in the right field. After a couple walks by Evelyn, it really got the inning going.
One and 0 to Mathis. One ball, one strike. .92-mile-an-hour fastball from Bilby.
Especially after that changeup pitch before. It's a pretty good sequence of pitches thrown.
One and 2 to Jeff Mathis. And Jeff out on strikes, throw to third. Safe. Howie Kendrick steals third base.
Well, he had a huge jump. Kilby didn't even give him a second look at second base. Well, he almost has 5 steps before that pitch was delivered. Easily gets in there to third base.
Two out. Meiser is Turris up there. Two balls, no strikes to Meiser. As Turris is 0 for 2 tonight, with a couple of ground balls, both of them to third. And now it's 3-0 to Meiser with Figgins on deck. Three and one. Full count to his Turris.
Showing how quick he is at the plate. Possibly.
Ball 4 to Meiser.
Napoli is smiling at that. What do you do as a pitching coach or even your bench coach? You go out and you have a stopwatch to determine how quick the pitcher is at the plate to see if you can try to steal a base.
It's like he's letting Knapp try it. Fans, as the Angels battle for a spot in the postseason, you can guarantee your spot with a postseason suite rental. A variety of suite options are available. Perfect for hosting your family and friends or colleagues. Don't delay. The postseason will be here soon. Call 888-796-HALO to reserve your postseason suite.
I can't wait for you to invite me to your suite you're going to rent, Rory, for the postseason.
It'll be just you in there.
Thank you, Rory.
Just be in there all by yourself.
Thanks.
First and third, 2 outs. Sean Figgins at the plate. Figgy taking a look down at Dino Ebel. Sean with a 2-run single last time up. And that was just last inning that Figgins had that base hit. He has scored 2 runs tonight, a category he leads the American League in.
It's an important category to lead a league into and run scored. That shows you how important and valuable you are to a team.
Figgy takes ball 2.
On base, second amongst leaders in walks, runs scored, a batting average over 300, 303 with 2 hits tonight. Solid defense at third.
Two balls, 1 strike to Sean Figgins with a couple of men on for the Angels in what has been kind of a wild and unusual game tonight. Pop foul by Figgy. Figgins 2 runs scored tonight, regained the lead for him. He was behind Dustin Pedroia by 1 run scored coming in tonight.
The bat flew out of Sean Figgins' hands and hit the umpire, Andy Fletcher, behind the plate. So we see Suzuki got hit with a broken bat. And now the home plate umpire hit with a bat that slipped out of Sean Figgins' hand.
Well, everybody's laughing about it, but he does have his fellow umpires all gathered around to make sure he's okay.
Tim McClellan, all 6'9" of them, talked to Sean Figgins and said, hey, hold on to that bat.
All 4 umpires gathered around home plate.
That pine tar game in 1983, George Brett, in which he was called out for using too much pine tar on the bat, Tim McClellan was behind the plate. He was incensed. He ran out there. He goes, I'm going to get him. And then he looked up and saw McClellan about 6'9". Says, now maybe I better not think about it. He's another tall human being.
He said the closer I got to him, the bigger he seemed.
And as crazy and upset that George Brett was, he said, well, that'd really be a bad day.
Now, Frank White said that George told him, if they call me out, I'm going to go crazy. And he lived up to that.
But eventually they changed that ruling, and the Royals had to come back and get like 1 out, I think, in that game later on in the year in New York on an off day. So they had a lot of fun doing that. They enjoyed that one, I think. Yeah. They were at the Rays there too, going there to like finish off an inning.
It's bad enough to have to go play 1 game, a makeup game, but to have to go in and get 1 out.
Well, I think it was like 1 inning, but yeah, it was crazy how they had to do that. Everyone was real happy about it. But I'm sure George was, because at least he got the credit for a home run off Goose Gossage.
So it was worth it for him.
Yeah.
Still 2-2 to Sean Figgins. All quiet on the Angel bench.
No John Lackey. Looks like at that point he might be out of the game, and Darren Oliver going to come in to start the 6th.
This game has given the fans plenty of time to enjoy the refreshments here at the Big A. There's one down the right field line, and Figgins is out. 5 innings in the books, and it is 9-6 Angels.
to play at the plate, which looked like Pennington was safe. And a bang player at first base again with Pennington involved. Ground ball down the line. Adam Kennedy hits Howie Kendrick in the helmet. Get another run across. So the mistakes made by Oakland certainly allowed the Angels to get this 9-6 lead.
Darren Oliver replaces Lackey, who gives up 6 runs in 5 innings, but stands to win it at the moment.
That great ERA at 2.51. Best on the club. Probably been the most consistent pitcher outside of Jerry Weaver and his team this whole season.
Eric Patterson leads off the 6th inning for the A's. It's probably safe to say now that Texas will win tonight, as they hold a 15-3 lead in the bottom of the 8th.
I believe they were down at 3-1 in that game.
They've scored 14 unanswered. Two balls and no strikes to Patterson.
So like we said at the start of the game, this is a huge game for the Angels. Not only you want to start playing better baseball and get the momentum going towards the postseason, but the Texas coming in for 4 games. Don't make them feel they're that much in a race right now.
No, especially since you were ahead 9-2 also, and now it's 9-6. 2-2 to Patterson. Full count, 3-2. Patterson has grounded out to Kendry Morales both times up. Hanging in there with 2 strikes against Darren Oliver.
Patterson doing a nice job on that fastball on the outside part of the plate, just fighting it off.
And stays alive again with the 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Patterson. Boy, he is hanging in there against Darren Oliver.
Darren's making some good pitches too to him.
Full count, 3-2. And finally, Patterson draws a 10-pitch walk. The Angels have a 3-run lead right now, but you know, it's always hard to read Mike Scioscia. He looks pretty much the same night after night, no matter what's happening. But I wouldn't say that's a real pleased look on his face.
Or comfortable look on his face, too, because Oakland,
right,
you know, they've had a couple more chances to score more runs in this game. This game's far from over, and Mike Scioscia realizes that.
Here's Pennington. He has a hit tonight. He's been involved in a couple of those plays, some of those breaks that went against the A's early in the game. That one's going to get out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike to Pennington. Well, chances are the Rangers will win that game. So the best the Angels could do tonight with a win would be cut the magic number to 3.
Well, watching that game, at that point, Texas was down 3-1 with 2 outs, a base load in the 5th, and they scored 12 runs with 2 outs in that 5th inning.
It's 1 ball, 1 strike to Pennington. One and two. Rolled foul by Pennington. We talk about pitch count all the time. 15 is about where you'd like to be if you could in an inning. Darren Oliver is about to throw his 15th pitch in this inning and has not gotten it out yet.
Yeah, we've seen some in John Lackey over 30 pitches in the 1st inning after getting the first 2 outs quickly.
And Pennington did not touch that one. He's out. Oliver gets the strikeout, and moving up to second base on the play, Eric Patterson.
Good breaking pitch in the dirt, swings and miss. This Method is trying to get to the baseball. He had to go by Pennington to be able to get that ball. Patterson was able to advance on the wild pitch.
A runner in scoring position for Oakland with 1 out, and Adam Kennedy up there again. Adam batting for the 4th time already. Has 2 singles tonight. Mathis going out to talk to Oliver. With a runner at second base.
Adam Kennedy hitting .237 versus left-handed pitching, compared to .310 versus right-handed pitching. When he first came to the Angels, he was in a platoon situation for a while before taking over the everyday job at second base.
To Kennedy. And you're right, Socia looking concerned.
When he thinks it will bother him, it's got to be the pace of this game, too.
That's a fair ball down the left field line. That's going to get the run in. Kennedy has his 3rd hit of the night. And it's now 9-7 as he just does get in at second base. Now it's Socia's turn to come out and argue. We've seen Bob Guerin a couple of times. Now Mike wants to know what's going on with Greg Gibson.
Well, what a great throw by Juan Rivera into second base here. See the swing here. On the outside part of the plate, goes inside out. Adam Kennedy for his 3rd hit. See him sliding head first. Close play. Looked like he got his hand in there before the tag was applied, though.
Very close. The second base umpire, Gibson, couldn't have been any closer to the play.
I think he got it right, because originally if Howie would have, when he first swiped it, Adam Kennedy had a chance to tag him. It didn't get him at that point. Then reapplied the tag. Kennedy looked like he got his hand in. And we said this game is far from over. Now Oakland again responds. Play, though, by Juan Rivera in that quick throw. Almost gets him at second.
Rajay Davis up there. Swings and misses with a high fastball. Oh, 0-2 to Davis. Darren Oliver has yielded a run on a walk and a double here in the 6th inning. Two balls, two strikes. Bringing Oliver in this early, Soch might have been hoping to get 2 innings out of him, but the way this inning is going, maybe not. Throwing a lot of pitches. Chopped to second base. Davis is out. Kennedy goes over to third. 2 out on the 6th, and Ryan Sweeney coming up. This game's a lot closer than you thought it was going to be. After the 4th inning, the Angels led 9-2.
Especially when you got John Lackey in his 16-4 career mark going against Oakland at that point.
Sweeney takes strike 1. Darren Oliver ahead on the count, 0-2. And that one's off the glove of Mathis. Another run in for the A's. And Soch looking on if looks could kill. It's 9-8 Angels.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's seen a lot of things he's not going to like and talk about, obviously, after the game here in this situation. Overthrowing a pitch. Oliver, tough one to be able to block if you're Jeff Mathis. That was overthrown, that fastball. Very difficult to be able to block.
Oakland has come from 7 runs down to make it a 1-run game. And down on strikes goes Sweeney to end the inning. A 2-run inning for the A's. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 9-8 Angels.
Mathis got it rolling after 2 walks. Gets a single to drive Kendry across. A ground ball to third base. And Adam Kennedy hits Howie in the back of the helmet. Then Sean Figgins, what new, comes through again with a clutch hit. Then Bobby Abreu, that ball got out in less than a second. Turned on that fastball on the inside part of the plate. Big 6-run fourth. They needed all 6.
Well, at the time, after that 6-run fourth, they were ahead 9-2. Now it's 9-8, and it's only the 6th inning. Brad Ziegler takes over for Oakland.
Definitely a guy that doesn't overpower you with his fastball. He settles around 84 to 86 with a slider also. It's all about deception and that tough arm angle he throws at.
Side armor, almost a submariner. For a while, he was closing games for the A's and was doing a great job. Facing Bobby Abreu to lead off the bottom of the 6th. Just a little bit under a sellout here at the Big A tonight, 41,014. The Angels went over 3 million in attendance last night. 0-2 to Abreu. It's official now. That game is over in Texas. 15-3, the Rangers beat the Rays. And the Angels trying to hang on to this lead and cut their magic number to 3. Abreu out on strikes. A pitch coming up to the plate like a frisbee.
Boy, he changes speed with that sidearm delivery quite well. Like I said, not overpowering. We can throw that changeup off that submarine. That's what that was, a changeup. 76 miles an hour.
Here's Torrey Hunter. Strike 1 to Torrey.
Well, this guy is very difficult to hit the ball out of the ballpark. He's only allowed 2 home runs in 68 innings pitched. So you got to look down in the zone and hit ground balls and line drives. Very difficult to be able to elevate a pitch to drive it out of here.
One ball, 1 strike to Torrey Hunter, who grounds one foul right back behind the plate. Strike 2 to Torrey. Oakland has 11 hits tonight. The Angels with 8. Two and 2 to Hunter. Wide of third, Kennedy, nice play. The throw gets him. Adam Kennedy at third base, at least for now, appears to be much more comfortable going to his left than he is toward the line.
That's exactly right. Going to the left, got himself a good throwing position to be able to get Torrey Hunter. He's not used to that backhand because he's a second baseman by trade. The backhand at third base makes it more difficult to get up and make that throw as compared to he's able to do that at second base. So he rushes it too much.
Vlad Guerrero up there for the Angels. Vladdy 0 for 2 with a walk. One and 2. Jason Bolger is warming up in the Angel bullpen. The Angels still have a lot of outs to get here tonight, Gooby. And Guerrero out on strikes. 2 strikeouts and a 1-2-3 inning for Ziegler. Brought to you by Infinity. Luxury cars that inspire at every turn. Quite a game tonight here at the Big A. 9-8 Angels. And we're in the top of the 7th with Jason Bolger in the game for the Angels.
6-1 mark. 94, 95 mile an hour fastball, good curveball, slider, and changeup. Since May 11th, Jason Bolger has been outstanding in ERA at 2.11, which is 5th best amongst relievers in the American League. Started off slow, been dominant since.
First batter he will face, Kurt Suzuki, who grounds one right down the third baseline into left field. Rivera gets to it. Suzuki's going for 2. Juan has a great arm, but it's late at second base, and it's a leadoff double. Kurt Suzuki has a home run, a sac fly, and now a double.
Well, all of a sudden, anytime you give up a leadoff double in an inning, especially when you're trying to nurse a 1-run lead, put yourself in a bad position. See how quick that bat is for Suzuki. He's having himself a great game, a home run now and a double, 36 double on the season. Especially for a guy like Cuss, although he did hit a home run to left field. Definitely a pull hitter, so you're going to be able to, if he gets a ground ball, we'll be able to get Suzuki over to third base with 1 out.
Jack Cuss hit a 3-run home run to the opposite field last time up. And takes the first pitch up high from Bolger.
Another great throw from Juan Rivera. That's 2 in the game so far to second base. All the scouts here as they prepare for the postseason. Advanced scouts from the Red Sox, the Yankees, and the National League clubs going into the postseason. And of course the Tigers or Twins are writing down notes about Juan's arm.
2 balls, no strikes to Cuss. Juan's arm should be pretty well known by now. Strike on the inside corner.
I don't think you have much of a chance at all. This ball's deep in the left field corner, but in the air to throw to Howie Suzuki, who runs pretty well for a catcher. Barely beat that throw in from Juan Rivera.
2-1 to Cuss. Oh, he was trying to give Oakland the lead with that swing.
What a good changeup. Jason Bolger possesses a very good changeup. Straight change at 85 miles an hour. Cuss looking fastball because he's in a fastball count. Boy, does he need a strikeout in this position right now? That way, Suzuki unable to advance to third.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Cuss holding up, and it's a full count. Jack Cuss has a single and a home run tonight. 3-2. Derek Barton on deck for the A's. Big pitch coming up for Bolger. He got him. That breaking ball is Bolger's bread and butter for the strikeout.
And I like that pitch selection, too, by Bolger in that spot. You do still have an open base. Cuss strikes out a lot. Definitely a dead fastball hitter. We're way out in front of that curveball. So as soon as the hips open up, the head flying wide open, there's no chance they'll even foul that curveball off.
Derek Barton up there now. Strike one. Bolger trying to get out of this inning after having given up a leadoff double. One and one to Barton.
Suzuki with 8 stolen bases. And Meister behind him is trying to keep him close. What you try to do as a shortstop there, just kind of disrupt the lead he's trying to get.
Two balls and a strike. Now 3-1 to Barton with a good right-handed hitter coming up next in Mark Ellis.
Mathis did a nice job of blocking that curveball, and Dirt had to shift his whole body over to be able to smother that breaking pitch.
Strike two to Barton.
Well, you throw a curveball inside, you throw a curveball on the outside part of the plate. More than likely come right back again with that curveball.
He did, and Barton fouls it away.
This is when the mind tricks play in your mind as a pitcher. You think, okay, I've thrown him 3 curveballs in a row. Eventually he's going to time it. This is the time to try to sneak a fastball up in the zone.
We saw that not work out so well for Eveland earlier in the game.
Exactly. So I'm trying to think along with Jason Bolger. I think, okay, I can go fastball elevated and get him to swing and miss. The smart thing is always to come back with that curveball again.
Fastball hit back up the middle, base hit into center field, and that's going to tie the game. The Oakland A's have come from 7 runs down to make it 9-9 in the 7th. Well, that's a tough pill for the Angels to swallow. It's also quite a comeback for a team that's in last place.
And what a difference this team has made since the beginning part of the season when they weren't scoring runs. And last year at the bottom of the American League as far as runs scored, second half, one of the better teams in all of baseball as far as offensive side.
Ellis takes strike one. Kevin Jepson warming up. That denies a win to Lackey, who went 5 innings tonight, and also gets Eveland off the hook for Oakland. 0-1 to Ellis.
Bolger went with a fastball here, tried to sneak it by him, and Barton was able to get a good piece of the bat on that, hit that ball right up the middle. Again, you think out there as a pitcher, okay, he's got to be looking off speed. Let me try to sneak a fastball by him, but he didn't have real good swings at the curveball.
Ellis takes one in the dirt. Okay, now we're tied, Gooby. If Oakland wins this game, what's going on in the Angel clubhouse after this one? What's the feeling?
Well, you know, they're going to say, hey, we're still in the driver's seat, feel good about ourselves. But the reality is the confidence level goes down somewhat. And then on the flip side, You're in that clubhouse. This is a fly ball here to Abreu in Texas.
I would imagine there are some people in Texas watching this game right now.
No question, especially when they looked up, they win their game. It's see the scoreboard. The Angels up 9-2. They think, okay, that game's over with, and all of a sudden, 9-7 now 9-9. Yeah, they're hanging around. Their confidence level is risen. They're getting healthier.
2 out with 1 on here in the top of the 7th, and Eric Patterson up there. The Angels tonight had a 6-run fourth to go ahead 9-2. But Oakland got 4 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, and 1 here in the 7th. 1-0 to Patterson. It's a big crowd of over 41,000 here tonight, but they aren't overly pleased at the moment. One ball, 1 strike to Patterson.
And there was a few boos.
Yes, there was.
After that tying run came across. And now they got to deal with Oakland's bullpen, which has a team of 3.51 ERA. Their bullpen is very good. It's a battle of the bullpens.
Patterson takes down low. 2-1. Two out here in the 7th. And there's a hard hit ball backhanded by Kendrick. Howie's made a few nice plays tonight. And we get to the 7th inning stretch at the Big A in a 9-9 tie. Here, 9-9 in the bottom of the 7th. Brad Ziegler continues on for Oakland. Juan Rivera leads off for the Angels.
It's a matter of the Angels want this game at this particular point. It's going to be difficult. Mentioned Oakland's bullpen ERA 3.51, which is second best in all of baseball. The last 17 games up bullpen ERA 1.76. Brad Ziegler, a guy that's only given up 2 home runs this year, 200 home runs last year, so he doesn't give up the long ball. So you're going to have to bunch a couple hits together against him.
A Let's go all the way back to the first inning. Juan Rivera connects for 3 runs. Right now in that Angel dugout, that must feel like about last week. The first inning. And Juan called out on strikes. Ziegler's delivery causing the Angels problems. He has struck out 3 out of 4 hitters.
Well, that's the deception. On that fastball on the outside corner, he's certainly not going to overpower you at 87. Well, their bullpen coming into this game, 473 strikeouts as a bullpen, which is the most in the American League and an Oakland club record. Saw it last night with Wirtz with 5 strikeouts, Ziegler with 3 already tonight.
Kendry Morales takes strike 1 from Ziegler.
See that side delivery, hides the ball well. At this point, that high leg kick, batter has not seen the baseball yet, and then throwing from that submarine 3-quarter action, do so many different things. That changeup off that sinker is nasty. You can see right there, it's 77 miles an hour. Runs away from lefties. Obviously, he'll run in against right-handed batters.
1-2 to Kendry. Ziegler ahead once again.
On a changeup at 71, his fastball, his best fastball at 88. But he's got that good frisbee type slider also. Again, you got to go up there with the approach. Try to get the pitches up enough where you can at least drive it, but don't think the home run because you can't get a pitch elevated enough to be able to get a good part of the bat to get it in the air.
Morales just getting a piece of that one. Craig Breslow, another left-hander, warming up for Oakland in a 9-9 tie here in the 7th. Well, I tell you, Gooby, earlier tonight, the Angels were ahead 9-2, and Texas was losing 3-1. Since then, the Angels have given up seven unanswered runs, and Texas went on to win 15-3 after being down 3-1. So the Angels need a win here tonight. They came into this game 6 games up on the Rangers.
Well, we talked about that in the opening, how big this game was tonight for the club. Obviously, you want to win, you want to get it over with as far as clinching the division, but all of a sudden, you've given Texas some life down there. They're at home. They're swinging the bats well. That's why you got to somehow find a way to be able to pull this one out and win this game.
Morales on base with 1 out. Howie Kendrick coming up. Oh, 0-1 to Howie. He's played a good second base tonight and been on base 3 times. 2 for 2 with a walk. Foul down the third base line.
When you think of most submarine pitches, you can get a good jump against it, but Ziegler's quick to the plate. 1-2-2 to 1-2-9. Only allowed 1 stolen base against him when he's been on the hill this season.
Oh, 0-2 to Howie Kendrick. Inside. Howie scored a run in that 6-run 4th inning. Kendry Morales at first base with 1 out. Check swing, a slow roller to shortstop, and Howie out at first base. Close play. Well played by Pennington. Morales takes second, 2 out.
Possible pinch hitter. Looks like it's going to be Gary Matthews Jr. coming out for Jeff Mathis.
Jeff went 1 for 3 tonight. But now Matthews coming up.
A nice play on that. He had to come in hard and make a good throw, too, because Howie Kendrick runs well down the line.
Gary Matthews stepping in, hitting .247. A base hit here could regain the lead for the Angels. The Angels right now with plenty of depth at the catching position. And I think the A's might make a change right here.
Yeah, they're going to switch Gary around, make him hit from the right side. Better numbers from the left side, but now Garen's going to make him switch around.
Hoping something works, maybe the rally monkey.
It's worked a lot in the past.
He has a tremendous history of success.
It's like Kate Smith when he used to sing God Bless America for the Flyers in their run to the Stanley Cup in 74 and 75, Rory. That's the type of success.
Well, Kate Smith and the rally monkey, you're right. You think of one, you think of the other.
It's mind-melding every time for me, Rory.
The pinch hitter, Gary Matthews, to face Craig Breslow.
Gary with some good numbers. Pinch hitting. 3 out of 8 with a home run. Big thing, 4 RBIs. This looks like it's going to be the role he's going to have here in that postseason run. A valuable role.
A single to the outfield could put the Angels back on top. They've been out hit by Oakland tonight, 13-8. Strike one to Matthews. And Gary immediately goes right back to say something to Andy Fletcher. Gary's not very happy, and I doubt Fletcher's very pleased at the moment either.
Well, that pitch looks like it's about a foot inside.
And Gary swinging at that one behind 0-2.
See that fastball settles in around 85 to 91. He's got a curveball, a slider, and a changeup. But right now for Gary, he's just got to think contact. Put it in play.
Matthews rips one into left field. Here comes Morales to the plate. Here's the throw way up the line, and the Angels are back on top. Boy, Patterson got to that ball pretty quickly, and it looked like it might be close, but it wasn't even close.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dino Evil right away recognized Patterson does not have a strong nor accurate arm. Send him right away. No chance if you got a strong arm. If Juan Rivera's in the outfield there, he's out by a mile. But a great at-bat there for Gary Matthews Jr. behind in the count. You can see right there, Patterson has the ball as he's on the base.
Before he even gets to third, Patterson has the ball, but that throw was way off.
Again, what it comes down to is reading scouting reports. Dino Evil recognized that. He was going to challenge his arm and the accuracy of his arm.
10-9 Angels as Turris pops one up foul out of play.
And now Gary Matthews Jr., 4 for 9 in that pinch hitting role. A very valuable role. You got to give Gary a lot of credit. He wanted to play every day. He settled in a spot where he can find a way to help the team win. So she realized that he could be the number one guy coming off the bench for him here.
0-2 to Meiser. So now the Angels know they're going to take a lead of at least one into the 8th inning. Is it Jepson and Fuentes' time now to put it away?
No question. Mike Scioscia gave Jepson a few days off. He had Jepson a little bit of a tired arm. Now, this game is important. We're talking about Texas on fire right now. And the offense, great pinch hitting by Gary Matthews Jr. Give you a lead again. Finish it off now on the bullpen.
1-2. Matthews went from upset at the strike one call to coming through with a big hit.
And also could have been, still upset about playing time, but he's responded. Mike Scioscia's talked to him a number of times. Big part of this club. Give him a lot of credit for that.
He's had a little over 300 at-bats. While that doesn't sound too bad, I'm sure Gary'd like to have that about double.
He also filled in great for Torrey Hunter when he was on the DL. Batting average obviously is not where he wants it to be, but the clutch hits have been there for him all season. Over 300 with runners in scoring position for him.
His Turris fouls one straight back. One and two to Meiser. High and outside. The Angels back on top by a run after coughing up a 7-run lead. Two and two. Fly ball shallow right, but Sweeney was playing him shallow. So in the bottom of the 7th, the Angels get one, and they take a 10-9 lead to the 8th. inning. Gary Matthews saw this pitch, called a strike, didn't like it, but bounced back in this at-bat.
On an 0-2 pitch, it came back in with the fastball, and Gary serves a base hit, drives in Kendry. Another run scored off a walk by an Oakland pitcher, and then Gary coming into that dugout. Mickey giving him a high five. That whole bench came down to give Gary Matthews a high five and say, great job. Valuable piece of this team.
Kevin Jepson in to pitch for the Angels to start the top of the 8th. And the first pitch fouled away by Pennington, the shortstop. Bobby Wilson, the new catcher for the Angels. One and one to Pennington.
So far, looks good for Kevin Jepson as far as velocity on that fastball, 97. A little bit of a tired arm just about a week or so ago.
When you're dealing with a rookie, Rubini comes to you in late September and says, I have a tired arm. How much of a concern is that?
Well, it is, because you're in, most times at this time of the year, you're already home. If you were in the minor leagues, the season's been over for a few weeks already. So Mike Scioscia and Mike Butcher are trying to make sure they give him an opportunity to rest as much as possible in between outings.
2-2 to Pennington.
And everyone always talks about a closer, and yes, they're the ones that get the saves, but that 8th inning, that bridge to the closer, is probably as important. Scott Shields, Angel fans have been so comfortable with him coming in there and shutting the door down and bringing in the closer, but now Jepson in this role.
And that's down the third base line. Fair into the corner. Rivera plays it, but it's a leadoff double for Pennington in the 8th.
Well, they've worn out that left field line with their swings.
Number 29, third baseman,
And Adam Kennedy coming up here, you may have some action on it. Look at how he's allowed that pitch to go deep in the zone, shorten up a swing, and hit that ball hard to left field. Just inside the line.
That is base hit number 14 for Oakland tonight.
Possible bunt now for Adam Kennedy.
He's not bunting. And he fouls it away, strike one.
Well, he tried to pull that fastball, which was on the outside part of the plate.
Kennedy has 3 hits tonight. Ten to 9 Angels in the 8th inning, and Oakland trying to come back again. Kennedy rips one foul. First base side, one hops up into the seats.
It's a good time to throw that big curveball. Kevin Jepson to get the strikeout. Head of the count 0-2. You need the strikeout to keep the base runner from advancing.
Just off the plate.
He tried that curveball. Adam Kennedy laid off it.
Bobby Wilson, just for a second there, wasn't sure where that ball was. And that's enough to get the runner over to third. So they advance him, Gooby, without Kennedy pulling the ball to that side.
Well, it's tough when you've been, sitting around the whole day, and all of a sudden you got to come into the game and be able to block a curveball like Jepson's had in the dirt. Now the strikeout needed. Infield in.
2-2. Kennedy pops it foul out of play. That has to be frustrating for the catcher. That ball was basically at his feet, but he just couldn't find it.
He did a good job of making sure it didn't get away from him. But that's why, as a pitcher, you communicate to your catcher, point. Don't just say something, point where it's at, either right, left, or straight in front of you. It's all about the things you're supposed to do on the mound.
And now a full count to Adam Kennedy. Rajai Davis, who has a 14-game hitting streak, is waiting on deck. Pennington at third with nobody out. Kennedy reaches base on a walk as Jepson was way up high. May have tried to throw that through a brick wall.
Overthrew that fastball, tried to elevate it. Adam Kennedy with the uppercut swing. More of a low ball hitter.
Fans, place your bid on autographed retro jerseys worn by Angel players and coaches during the May 7th and July 28th retro nights. To place your bid, visit the auction section at angelsbaseball.com. Proceeds benefit the Angels Baseball Foundation. First and third, nobody out. And the Angels in another jam.
And a difficult guy to be able to double up, and Davis with his speed.
Great speed. The Angels will play it that way. The infield moves back. It has taken a lot of pitches tonight, Gooby, for the Angel pitchers to get outs. Here is Jepson now. He's thrown 13 in this inning. Still looking for his first out.
Much as the A's have changed as far as stealing bases and things like that, hit and run, they're still very patient at the plate, work the count very well.
2-0, and Jepson appears from up here, Gooby, that he is trying to throw the ball as hard as he possibly can.
And because he's doing that, he's standing straight up in his delivery, not bending his back. And when you don't bend your back, you elevate pitches. You got to get over the front leg to be able to work the ball down in the strike zone.
It's 2-0 to Davis. And another pitch up high, 3-0.
You can see in his delivery, he's not even following through. He's landing and stopping, not bending over that front leg at all.
Matt Palmer is getting ready. We have had 313 pitches thrown in this game. It's 3-1 to Rajai Davis.
That's why you see a 10-9 score. Making a lot of mistakes.
Davis is hitting .315, and he's had a tremendous second half. So this is the tough hitter at the plate right now. Fouled back. Full count, 3-2. Jepson obviously could use a strikeout right here with the tying run 90 feet away. Pennington at third, Kennedy at first. Nobody out in the top of the eighth. And Bobby Wilson making sure he and Jepson are on the same page right here.
I still think right at this point you got to go with your fastball.
Davis making sure he knows the count. It's 3-2. It's still 3-2.
He threw a fastball at 96. Wilson going to come right back. It's a fastball on the outside corner once again.
He sets up there, and Jepson strikes him out. He executed the pitch perfectly, Gooby. Big strikeout.
Again, look at the difference the first few pitches he threw to Davis when he overthrew it, as far as, look, bending his back, following through, effortless at 95 miles an hour. I know it's easier said than done, but you got to trust your stuff on the mound, especially when you got that firm of a fastball.
1 out in the 8th. Ryan Sweeney at the plate. If Jepson can get a double play ball, he can get out of the inning with the lead intact. Ball 1 to Sweeney. Jepson has thrown 20 pitches. It's a 50-50 split. Strikes and balls.
Sweeney's hitting the 14 double plays, which ties for the team lead. He hits a lot of ground balls to shortstop from the left side, which is unusual.
2-0.
Kurt, remember me? I was in one of your classes at Cal State, man.
Kurt Suzuki's had a big game tonight. He waits on deck. Oakland's RBI leader
You and
on
me,
deck.
we are one.
Sweeney fouls it back. A little late on that swing.
Especially when you're ahead of the count 2-0, you know a fastball is coming. So as a pitcher, that tells you he's not able to catch up with your good fastball. So you got to stay hard on him, because if you throw something slow, you're going to speed his bat up. Bobby Wilson going right back with a fastball.
Two and two. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 2 men on for Oakland in a 10-9 game.
Now you have an option, though. You see him late on the fastball. Again, you can go right back at the fastball in the outside corner. Now he's going to go fastball inside.
And Sweeney falls down trying to check his swing, which he did, according to McClellan.
Boy, he came right in. He was looking away. He started the bat. Made the proper call by Tim McClellan to third base.
Full count, 3-2. First and third for the A's.
Would Oakland take a chance?
I gotta say, I'm making more money than you now.
Send Adam Kennedy here with the possibility of a strike him out, throw him out to end the inning. More than likely not.
I make more money than you. I work harder too.
Kennedy not going. Sweeney stays alive. Jepson has thrown 25 pitches in the inning. Pennington at third, Kennedy at first, and a full count to Sweeney.
Fastball again in the outside corner.
Strike 3 called. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jepson.
That, Rory, is some paint, some gas at the knees on the outside corner from Jepson. While you're talking about hitting the spot. A nice frame, too, by Bobby Wilson behind the plate.
Now can he get out of the inning?
The toughest out. That third out. You don't want to let down. You got to be aggressive right away. Thinking the lines of, hey, there's still no outs here. I can get through it if I can make some good pitches. Don't let your guard down.
Kurt Suzuki has a home run, a sacrifice fly, and a double tonight. Strike 1. Jepson is trying to give the Angels a huge lift right now. He did not go around. 1 ball, 1 strike to Kurt Suzuki, leading the A's in runs batted in with 84. And there's a line drive base hit to right field, and we are tied at 10. Suzuki comes through again. Wow.
Well, elevated fastball gave Suzuki a better chance to be able to make good contact on this pitch. Fastball up.
Well, you're right, Gooby. How often do we see a pitcher, bases loaded, nobody out, first and third, nobody out. They get the two, but that third one is just so elusive.
Because that focus just changes for whatever reason on the mound. Because you think, okay, I'm out of this. All I got to do is get an out and I'm done. Instead of the couple batters before, you're telling yourself, I have to throw my very best pitch. And then you make a mistake that elevated fastball to Suzuki, and here you go, tie ball game.
Now Jack Cust, a dangerous left-handed hitter, who hits one hard up the middle for a base hit, and the Oakland A's are back on top. Here comes the runner to the plate. Nope, they're going to hold him up and send him back to third, but the A's take the lead. Jack Cust, who hit an opposite field home run earlier in the game, bangs one up the middle to put Oakland on top.
Mike Scioscia is going to go back down to that bullpen at this point.
It's 11-10 Oakland. Oakland so far tonight, Gooby. The Angels had a 7-run lead, coughed that up, regained the lead as we look at Matt Palmer, and now they find themselves down again in the 8th inning. Give me your take on this night for the Angels.
Well, what it comes down to is asking to get a lot of outs out of your bullpen. Mike Scioscia had to get 12 outs out of the bullpen. Generally, he likes to get 18 to 21 outs out of his starting pitchers. You know, John Lackey, who has been so dominant for a long period of time this season, particularly his last 5 starts, didn't quite have his best stuff. And then the offense comes together, and all of a sudden now Oakland just refuses to go away. Now this becomes a huge batter. You don't want to allow Oakland to get any more runs because we said before, that bullpen from Oakland is very, very tough.
Wirtz and Bailey at the back end. That's who the Angels will see, no doubt. Very effective. Derek Barton up there at the plate. And he grounds one through the left side. Scoring is Suzuki. Cust stops at third. But Oakland now has a 2-run lead, 12-10. And they have 17 hits in the game. Scioscia has seen his ball club give up a 9-2 lead, and now they're in dire straits in this game.
So many at-bats for Oakland going the other way. They're left-handed hitters. Barton's done a nice job so far in these first 2 games of the series as far as going the other way with the pitch.
Mark Ellis for the A's. Mark Ellis is 0 for 4 tonight. Wilson blocks that ball just over to his right. Matt Palmer, the 5th pitcher the Angels have used tonight. Hits a drive into left field. Rivera sees it go over his head, and that ball is in the bullpen. And that brings the Boo Birds out at the Big A. A 3-run home run for Mark Ellis puts the Oakland A's ahead 15-10.
Well, we talked about Mark Ellis, so many big hits in his career against the Angels. He's been robbed a number of at-bats these first 2 games, but not on this one. A line drive. Fastball middle in to the left field.
And they are leaving the Big A now like it's on fire. Eric Patterson takes one up high for ball 1.
Reality is the Angels still have 6 more outs to be able to get back into this game. So on the optimistic side, they still get the swing, and they've scored 10 runs themselves. Again, you got to throw up a 0 here and there as far as coming out of the bullpen at this point.
The Angels had a 6-run 4th inning tonight. But Oakland now has scored 6 here in the 8th. You can tell the Angels have had leads 3 different times tonight.
Oakland scored 13 runs in the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th inning.
Lackey went 5 tonight and left with a lead. There's ball 4 to Patterson. And the Angels, about 3 hours and 20 minutes since this game started, not feeling too good at the moment. Here comes the 10th man to hit in this inning for the A's. Pennington started it with a double the opposite way. Now remember, the Angels have not lost 4 games in a row at any point this year. The only team in baseball to have not lost 4 straight. But unless they rally in the 8th or 9th tonight, they're on the verge of losing their 4th straight. Ground ball to Howie Kendrick will end the top of the 8th. But not before Oakland scores 6 runs to take a 15-10 lead.
Athletics with 15 runs. Jack Cuss with a big game, a double home run. Suzuki 3 for 4 with a home run. The Angels scored 6 runs in the fourth. Up at one point 9-2, but now behind 15-10.
Bob Guerin wasn't enjoying the game too much early on. Feels much better now. 1 ball, 1 strike to Sean Figgins, leading off the bottom of the 8th. So even though if the Angels fall tonight, they'll still have a 5-game lead over the Texas Rangers. Tonight is a night when the Angels have given up 15 runs, and Texas, coincidentally, scored 15 runs. 2-1 to Figgins. Oakland last scored 15 just last July against the Twins.
What we call that game, I think the Twins were up 11-1. They came back. But right now, if you're Breslow, that's the worst thing you can do is walk the leadoff hitter. Position where the offense responds with 6. At the top of the 8th, and you walk the first batter. The only way to get back in the game is base runners. And you provided an easy one there with a walk.
Bobby Abreu had a 2-run home run in the 4th inning, giving him 100 RBIs on the season. And that's 5 out of 6 pitches out of the strike zone. That's Sean O'Sullivan warming up in the Angel pen. Now Breslow suddenly can't throw a strike, and it's 2-0. He's going to get a visit.
Sometimes when you do that, your pitcher coach is not going to give you a pep talk. Say, hey, listen, you got a 5-run lead in this spot. You got to throw strikes. Get your mechanics back.
They're stirring around down there, but nobody's loosening up. They used words last night. I would assume he's probably available tonight, but not warming up.
Well, you wonder if he is, because he had 5 strikeouts, so the pitch total was up pretty high for him. But they want to win this game as bad as any team out there tonight, so they want to knock off the Angels. They've had a pretty good rivalry themselves, the A's and the Angels, over the years.
And now it's 3-0 to Abreu. If he walks back-to-back hitters to start the inning, that'll definitely breathe some life into this crowd and the Angels. Not quite yet. 3-1 to Abreu. Strike 2 call. Figgins, the runner at first base. Full count to Bobby Abreu. Lined into center field. Base hit. The Angels get the first 2 men on in the bottom of the 8th. And now they have Hunter, Guerrero, and Rivera due up.
And a left-handed pitcher, too, with the boots. So now the bullpen is starting to move around down for Oakland. Jeff Gray getting up for Oakland, number 60. Getting up in a hurry.
Torrey Hunter. 1 for 4 tonight, takes a strike. Torrey had a single in that 6-run 4th inning. Oh, 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Hunter. 2 men on, nobody out in the bottom of the 8th. Over 41,000 here tonight, and they have stuck around through a long ball game, hoping for one more rally. Two and 2 to Hunter. Vlad Guerrero on deck. Torrey strikes out swinging. Big pitch by Breslow there.
Challenging with a fastball at 92 miles an hour. It's down the middle of the plate. Good life on that fastball from Breslow.
Vlad Guerrero up there. Strike 1 to Vladdy. Vlad tonight 0 for 3 with a walk and a pair of strikeouts. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Vladdy now in an 0-2 hole.
Well, you can see him pitching the fastball on the outside corner and then that slider down and in. So he went west to east on 2 pitches. Will he go back out in the outside corner or try that slider again?
He struck him out looking. Vlad strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. Back-to-back punch-outs for Breslow.
Boy, a promising inning all of a sudden with your 3-4 hitters. Breslow gets 2 strikeouts, goes back out to the outside corner. So he went fastball outside corner, slider in, fastball out.
2 outs, Juan Rivera at the plate. Picked out of the dirt by Kurt Suzuki. Angel fans won't be happy tonight, but give some credit to a last place Oakland A's club tonight.
When you're in last place, you're down 9-2. You come back like this.
With just over a week left in the season. And Juan hits a high fly ball. Left center field and deep. Back to the wall goes Rajai Davis to catch it. Juan got under that one a little bit. The Angels get the first 2 men on in the 8th and leave them on. The team store is having a sale. Tomorrow, all merchandise 40% off. Talking about jerseys, hats, warm-up jackets, everything there in the team store. Angel merchandise locations, 40% off tomorrow.
So you didn't get me anything when it was 30%. How about tomorrow, Rory?
I'm waiting for a further markdown.
Well, at least you're thinking about it.
I don't want to rush in too soon.
Nice shirt there. Sean O'Sullivan in the game, pitching in relief for the Halos at this point. Did a nice job coming out of that rotation. Pitched a great game up at San Francisco, as I recall, during that Mitsowitz club. Just turned that season around.
Sean O'Sullivan, the 6th pitcher the Angels have used tonight. Oakland has 18 hits. Adam Kennedy to lead off the top of the 9th inning. Mike Scioscia preaches, as you know, winning a series. Take 2 out of 3. Take 3 out of 4. If the Angels lose this game, they're going to lose this series no matter what happens tomorrow. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Yankees in the previous series. Now, what in your mind is the vibe with the Angels right now? I mean, obviously, if they do make it to the postseason, there are only 8 games left in the regular season. So what is the feeling right now?
Well, I think what Mike Scioscia will say to the club right now is, hey, we got the opportunity to make the postseason. And that's the most important thing. If you can get the team playing well, whether it be the last 3 games of the season or the last 8 of the season, doesn't really matter. As long as they're playing well at the very end here and carried into the playoffs. They know who they're going to play. They're going to play the Boston Red Sox in that first game. They're going to play them in a short series. And they're going to have to play exceptional baseball, make the plays in the field, run the bases aggressively, pitch well, and get some solid bullpen relief to win that series.
Rajai Davis, 1 ball and 1 strike to Davis.
I mean, the reality is, even if they're not able to come back, they're still up by 5 games with 8 to go.
Andrew Bailey warming up as the Oakland closer. Well, nobody said it was going to be easy, and obviously, if they do not win tonight, they're going to have to beat the Rangers on the field. Davis a fly ball into right field, and Bobby Abreu makes the catch 2 down.
That makes that 4-game series against Texas that much more compelling.
It really does. Even if the Angels win tomorrow and the Rangers lose, Texas is still alive when they get here.
Remember, they've won 10 out of 15 games against the Angels this season, so they've played very well, and they're healthy right now. Angel fans better come out and expect a big-time series against the Rangers when they come in town.
1-0 to Ryan Sweeney. Now, you still have tomorrow's game with Oakland, and you have Joe Saunders going 14-7. There's a base hit for Sweeney against Edgar Gonzalez, who is 0-3 for Oakland with an ERA over 5. And obviously tomorrow's a very big ball game.
Joe Saunders with some good career numbers against Oakland also.
And your bullpen's going to be a little worn out going into a day game tomorrow.
But that's what you want as a starting pitcher, is to have that pressure put on you. I got to give Mike Scioscia 7-8 innings. And that's what good pitchers want and respond to. Joe Saunders 7-3 in his career against Oakland, has been outstanding since coming back from the DL. It's an opportunity to carry the team on your back.
Kurt Suzuki has the single, the double, and the home run, so he needs a triple to hit for the cycle. He also has a sacrifice fly to drive in a run tonight. Suzuki has driven in 4 runs this evening.
Well, he had that big at bat against Kevin Jepson after Kevin Jepson had 2 strikeouts in a row to get to a situation he looked like he was going to get out of that 8th inning without giving up any runs.
Two and 1 to Suzuki. 3-1. Full count to Kurt Suzuki. In the bottom of the ninth, the Angels have Morales, Kendrick, and Bobby Wilson due up. Suzuki lines that one foul, right field side. Three and two to Kurt Suzuki. And he draws a walk, so Suzuki is on base again. It's been a long night for that guy.
Mike Scioscia's credit, there's no change in his expression at all, even when they were up from 9-2 till now. But I think it might be slightly different once he gets into that clubhouse.
Think?
I think it's going to come down to went from a talk to him that, hey, you guys got to start playing better ball. But I think it's his famous saying, turn the page, is going to be needed to be said after this game. Because they got to play a better game all around tomorrow to have a chance to win at least one game in a series.
Jack Cust. Cust has a home run tonight. He has driven in 4 runs tonight. One ball, one strike to Cust. Cust with a 3-run homer tonight, his 24th of the year. He was trying to hit that out of the ballpark.
Boy, this 5th inning, that was a pretty good swing by him. A short swing going the other way on a curveball, providing all the power himself. That's at that point number 24 as far as home runs on the season.
Well, the Angel 4 and 5 hitters have gone 1 for 9 tonight. Oakland with Suzuki and Cust, they've been dynamic. There's a pop fly behind third. Figgins racing out along the line, makes the catch. And we are headed to the bottom of the 9th inning, 15-10 Oakland. In for Oakland. He's their closer, and this is not a save situation.
That's surprising. Pitched 18 pitches yesterday and 1 inning of work. Angels can come back against it, work some counts. He may not be available tomorrow in the day game. So maybe a break here for the Angels. Also with the possibility, you never know, coming back in the game. But they had that opportunity last inning, get the first 2 guys on. 3-4 hitters in your lineup coming up. And Mike Scioscia has to see nothing across at that point.
Kendry Morales leads off the bottom of the 9th inning. (15-10) Oakland. The A's have out-hit the Angels 19-10. No balls, 2 strikes. Kendry Morales has walked twice tonight. Other than that, he's 0 for 2. One ball, 2 strikes.
Curveball on the outside part of the plate. Kelly with overpowering stuff has been outstanding for this Oakland bullpen. His fastball up to 96. He's got that cut fastball, but you can see that curveball, which is above average itself.
Kendry fouls another one straight back. A little bit of a quiet dugout after a long ball game tonight. And Kendry Morales out on strikes.
High fastball by Bailey gets Morales to swing over top of that pitch for the strikeout.
Howie Kendrick tonight. He's been on base 3 times. He has a single, a double, and a walk. Two and 0 to Howie. Three and 0 from Bailey.
Definitely a take situation. The Angels in need of base runners to get back in this game.
Howie Kendrick, a 4-pitch walk. One out, one on. Eric Ibar is going to pinch hit here for Bobby Wilson. Now 5 in a row out of the strike zone. And they get Casilla up.
Again, most closers just lose that edge when they're not in a save situation. That's why it was surprising that Bob Guerin put Bailey in this spot.
A strike, but taking second base without a throw, Howie Kendrick. Two and one to Ibar. Two and two. You think this takes Bailey out of the equation for tomorrow?
Quite possible. You know, it's a day game tomorrow. 18 pitches last night. Already at 15 at this point. Hopefully he wouldn't be in a situation where he'd be able to come into the ball game tomorrow. That's what you got to think of.
Ground ball hit right to the shortstop, and Pennington throws out Ibar. Kendrick takes third. Two out. Meiser is Turris stepping in. This game getting close to the 4-hour mark tonight. Meiser, a line drive to left, and that will do it. Well, this was quite a ball game. The Oakland Athletics come from 9-2 down to beat the Angels 15-10 tonight. Oakland has taken two in a row in this series.